This is a life jacket for us and especially for our students so that we can keep them safe.
What tools for teachers are required under a new state law?
School should always be a sanctuary, should be a safe place for people.
Police officers could be returning to the Seattle School District.
School resource officers, school engagement officers should never be involved in school discipline.
Why the chief of police is on board. Get ready, drivers. More school zones are coming to Seattle.
It only lasts about 10 minutes, and then it's very calm normally here. But that 10 minutes is like a war zone.
New data shows if the cameras actually slow drivers down. More schools are banning phones in class.
It helps us be more present in class and actually learn, which is what we're here for.
And surprise, students are here for it. A new year with new beginnings.
Our old building was as old as I am, so it definitely needed a remodel.
Several districts open newly renovated schools, and others welcome kids to familiar halls.
I'm hoping to learn better writing and reading. I'm good at it. I just need to practice.
Good morning, and thanks for joining us for our back to school special here in Tacoma. I'm Shante Sumpter at Jefferson Elementary School, where right now things are getting underway for that first day back. A lot of excitement building here in Tacoma. We have team coverage for you across Western Washington as several districts prepare for back to school. Drew Andre will be in Tacoma, where the district is opening a new school. Bar Jadrin is live in Bothell. North Shore is one of many with a new school district, or new district-wide cell phone ban this year. But first, we want to check in with Savannah Welch. She's live in Seattle, where school leaders are considering bringing.
Yeah, that's right, Shante. I've talked to two students about the violence here at Garfield, and both said while they believe having an officer on campus would help with safety, they agree it's not the complete solution.
Seattle Public Schools removed school resource officers in 2020 following nationwide protests after George Floyd's death. Now the school board is considering a one-year pilot program to bring them back, starting at Garfield High. Community feedback last week was split. Some want officers back, while others say they create distrust. This year, the district is also adding 20 more security staff, new building access technology, and a Safer Watch tip line. It's also considering bringing new weapon detection kiosks into the schools. One senior I spoke with, Jade Marie Warren, says a school engagement officer is the best option.
Me personally, I haven't felt safe at school or somehow even just in this general area. It's such a big disappointment to see when we're constantly sitting here asking, we're like, well, can we have security? Can we have comfort? Can we have a type of anything? And it's like, even when we do get one or two SROs, it's never the same as having a full community on our back.
The discussion comes after increased calls for safety and more than a year after a 17-year-old student was shot and killed outside Garfield High. Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes, who is also a former public school teacher, says he supports bringing officers back to campus.
School resource officers, school engagement officers should never be involved in school discipline. That is still the responsibility of the school staff. We're there for relationship building, for education. We're there to make sure that there's no outside influences that do not belong on campus.
Well, thanks for that report, Savannah. And for those students who oppose bringing those officers back on campus, what alternatives are they suggesting?
Well, Shante, students are asking for more counselors and more community support, and that could include things like programs that bring in CEOs and local leaders into the schools to get them engaged with students. They're also asking for more inclusive spaces on campus, as well as mental health resources as well, which goes hand in hand with the ask for counselors. One student I talked to, she said that really if there are officers on campus and they move forward with the school engagement officer the district does, she would hope to see these officers active and engaged with students and their growth, not just doing a job, but really engaging with the students and building those relationships. In Seattle, Savannah Welch, King 5 News.
Thanks, Savannah. Well, here in Tacoma, not too far from where I'm standing, you see those flashing lights reminding drivers that the speed limits in these school zones are 20 miles per hour. In Seattle, they are doubling the amount of school zone cameras across the city. I spoke to the city about why they feel this is necessary now. Once these lights start flashing,
it only lasts about 10 minutes, and then it's very calm normally here. But that 10 minutes is like a war zone.
A signal to slow down even more.
The more things we can do to keep the kids safe when they're just trying to get to school is going to be for the best.
Megan Tremaine's daughter walks to Bryant Elementary. She's too familiar with how drivers pass through the area. She's relieved a solution may be on the way. This portion of Seattle's Ravenna neighborhood along 35th Avenue will soon have a new school zone speed camera.
We are looking to improve safety for the most youngest of our road users to make walking and biking to and from schools safer as children commute to and from schools.
The Seattle Department of Transportation is adding 37 new school zone speed cameras at 19 schools before the end of the year. 11 of those cameras are scheduled to switch on in September, including this one near Bryant Elementary. For the first 30 days, drivers will receive a warning. After that, tickets will be issued.
These do have a significant impact in reducing collisions, improving safety, and fostering behavioral change.
SDOT data shows the cameras are working. During school opening and closing hours, there was a 71% reduction in crashes. SDOT says crashes fell 50% when the cameras weren't even active. And once a driver gets caught, it shows 90% don't receive a second ticket.
I think, the more things we can do in a pedestrian-focused city to make that easier and safer for them, that's going to prevent some injuries, some close calls that I've already kind of seen here.
The tickets for violating the speed limit in those school zones, it's $237. The city says that money will be used for safety improvements. For a full list of all of those new cameras, if you want those locations, you can find that on our website. Just text the word zone to 206-448-4545. Well, back here in Tacoma at Jefferson Elementary School, students are now back in for the first day. I've seen a few more trickling in, but classes started about 6 minutes ago. That's when the doors open. But less than 10 minutes from here, down the road, there is a school that just opened here in the district that is newly renovated and has a lot of improvements on the campus. For more on that now, let's check in with Drew Andre.
From the outside, the Oakland school looks pretty much like it has since it opened back in 1912. But now when you step inside the building, educators here say that this is the new future of learning here in Tacoma.
Walking inside, you're kind of transitioned into this beautiful new world of a school. Looking at the outside compared to the inside, you'd never guess that it would look like this.
Oakland special ed teacher Crystal Fowler is setting up her classroom for the first day of school.
We're just looking to build up our community, and I think that this building alone is going to help do that.
We're still unpacking.
Principal Sean Martin took us around the new campus, which now includes a new space for Tacoma's online school.
Really the foundation for all of this is personalization and meeting students and families where they are.
Around 800 students are a part of Tacoma Online Learning, plus hundreds more in the part-time online Flex program. Now, this is the place those students can come and meet face-to-face with their teachers and do hands-on work in labs like this one. It's all part of making Oakland a new hub for learning in the modern age.
It means that we're making school work for students. It does include this combination of virtual skills, in-person skills, and so we kind of bring all that together.
Tacoma voters are the reason this new space exists. A 2020 bond is funding the rebuild and remodel of 8 schools in the district. As we've shown you over the last couple years, several are already finished. Now Oakland is the latest to get this facelift while keeping its history, like the classic look of large windows and brick exterior.
I think for a student coming in and the pride that they'll have in the space, I think has an impact on their belonging here and their identity here.
There's still more money that's coming in from that 2020 bond. Over the course of the next 2 years, there are 2 more elementary schools that are set to reopen. Reporting in Tacoma, I'm Drew Andre, King 5 News.
Thanks for that, Drew. Well, students in Washington's second largest district also went back to school, and we know that more than 30,000 students in Lake Washington schools were welcomed back to the classrooms. We caught up with students and teachers at Benjamin Rush Elementary in Redmond ahead of their first day back. We asked them what they're looking forward to this school year.
The thing I most look forward to in the year is just seeing the growth that our students make. But I think it's beyond just growth as learners, it's growth as individuals in our community, as the next generation in our society. How can we teach these students to be empathetic humans and be compassionate?
I'm hoping to learn better writing and reading. I'm good at it, I just need to practice.
And, you know, we all could always use a little extra practice, so I'm sure she will do great and all of the students will have a great year ahead. But we know that schools and teachers are getting new tools this fall in the name of safety. Olympia Bureau Chief Drew Mickelson shows us the new devices required on campus soon.
These were original art drawn and designed by one of our seniors.
Students in Mrs. Burns' yearbook class selected a comic book theme for their most recent edition.
It's a very worthy endeavor, and I'm glad it's not digital.
And we'll do a 911 other.
But at Marysville-Pilchuck High School, the security is high tech.
It's great for peace of mind. It's great for being in the loop and understanding what any given situation is.
Snohomish County purchased Motorola's Rave app for all of the district's staff. The app sends alerts to 911 and all of their coworkers if there's an on-campus emergency, a shooting, fire, or medical event.
Every school that I've been in has always had the buy-in of staff on safety because we know our number one priority is safety and a supportive learning environment. And everyone needs to be focused on that.
This is my daughter, Alyssa Alhadeff.
Alyssa's Law, signed by Governor Bob Ferguson in May, is named after Alyssa Alhadeff. The 14-year-old was killed in the Parkland, Florida school shooting in 2018. Under Alyssa's Law, by October 1st, every district in Washington must establish emergency plans with local law enforcement. Campuses also need to install technology aimed at making them safer. The panic alarms are one suggestion, but districts can choose to offer two-way radios for staffers or exterior doors that can be remotely closed and locked. Another option, installing security cameras like the ones they just put up in all Tumwater schools. Tumwater police now have the ability to instantly tap into any of these cameras in the event of an emergency.
And I'm able to zoom in if I need to. I can move the camera side to side.
Heidi Center-Howden is principal at Tumwater's Michael T. Simmons Elementary.
I don't keep these cameras up all day myself. I really only access them if I need to.
They just got high-definition controllable cameras all over the campus. The cameras can trace which direction someone is headed and can all be monitored remotely. Districts can and are taking steps beyond Alyssa's Law. By the start of the school year, visitors to every Olympia campus must enter through a vestibule that makes them start at the office.
If you're in a boat, you're going to want that life jacket in case something happens. This is a life jacket for us and especially for our students, so that we can keep them safe. So you're going to find capes.
Back in Marysville, Mrs. Burns is ready for the new year, and she's glad other teachers across the state will have the tools she's had at her fingertips. Drew Mickelson, King 5 News.
Thanks for that report, Drew. Back here in Tacoma, we still have so much more coverage to bring you this morning, including State Superintendent Chris Rakedahl. We will talk to him about plans for the year across Washington. And in East Kane County, voters rejected a bond to build a new high school. So why are building plans still going forward? A look at the scaled-down version in the works.
Good morning, I'm Farah Jadrin in Bothell. The North Shore School District is launching its district-wide cell phone policy. You're going to hear directly from students who say not having their phone in school is a good thing.
When you're on the field, you're playing for your fans. At home, you're playing for your family. My playbook, read labels, keep it allergy friendly, and have an epinephrine nasal spray as a backup plan.
Dad, stay out of the kitchen.
What's she talking about? Yeah! In your face, Doc! That's the kitchen, Jason.
I tried to tell him, but he didn't listen to me.
Because when my family's safe from food allergens, that's the real victory.
When you reach for your prescription medications, you trust that the medicine is going to do what it's supposed to do, make you feel better. That trust comes from knowing that teams of doctors, biologists, chemists, pharmacists, and other health scientists at the FDA are working tirelessly to protect the health of the American public by making careful, informed decisions about which new drugs to approve. Find the answers at fda.gov/drugs.
We're with Liam after his 4th military move. When being new is starting to get old. We're with Tara during the holidays when she misses home the most. We're with all service members and their families who need connection, comfort, and a home away from home. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today.
It's something about having that piece of paper. Some people think that's worth more than my skills.
I've run this place for 20 years, but I still need to prove that I'm more than what you see on paper.
You just gotta be so good they can't ignore you.
It's the way my mind works. I have a very mechanical brain.
Analytics and empathy. That's how I've gained clients.
I am more.
I'm more
than who I am on paper.
Good morning, I'm Shante Sumpter here in Tacoma at Jefferson Elementary, where the school day is already underway. You do have a few kids on this bus coming in, but for the most part, you saw a lot of those students roll in about 10-15 minutes ago. This is not the only school starting back today. We also know North Shore is welcoming back a lot of students as well, and that's where we find King 5's Farah Jadron joining us live from North Creek High School in Bothell. And Farah, students there have been experimenting with a no cell phone rule for years.
Yeah, Shante, and the hundreds of new freshmen we saw come onto campus a little while ago are going to be a part of this. So the soft launch happened for about 3 years, but now it's official. Depending on what grade you're in this district, you may no longer be able to have your smartphone or smartwatch when the bell rings. A harsh reality.
I was very much addicted to my phone, especially going through the pandemic.
North Creek High senior Abby Swallam says she's happy that's behind her. Fellow senior Aaliyah Nagori agrees.
It helps us be more present in class and actually learn, which is what we're here for.
Each classroom is going to have something like this, a caddy or just a space to put your phones. Administrators like to call it a phone spa. Give your phones a rest. I place it there, I sit down, now my hands are free and I'm ready to learn and pay full attention to my teacher. At the high school level, mobile devices will be allowed during passing breaks, lunchtime, and before and after school. For the district's youngest learners, things are different. Devices are not allowed on school campuses at any time. The only exceptions, pre-K through 12, will be for approved medical needs that includes cell phone connected health monitoring devices or apps. At the high school level, mobile devices will be allowed during passing breaks, lunchtime, and before and after school.
The teens are really, really smart and know that not using it during class is for their own benefit.
North Creek High School's principal says the soft launch here has already paid off.
All of the teachers have reported much better engagement, and I think that eye contact piece is better.
Making future plans could prompt other exceptions for high schoolers to use their phones.
We have students that are communicating with employers, with potentially colleges, perhaps with military recruiters. And so there's lots of different reasons that a student might need to have access to that personal device during the day for very productive reasons.
The University of Washington is 1 year into researching cell phone policies. Studying responses from 5,000 Washington students along with their parents and teachers, the team learned that 15 to 20% of students saw improvements in their attention, understanding lessons, and getting work done. Only about 10% have reported difficulties in regulating emotions, stress, and loss of authenticity without their phones.
So what were you thinking for the assembly?
This North Shore senior says she's better off being phone-free.
The whole world is not on your phone is my pep talk. It may feel like it in the moment, but I promise you there's so much more to high school.
Well, Farah, we know when other school districts announced similar plans last year, we heard from parents, and one of their concerns was about not being able to contact their kids in case of an emergency.
Yeah, well, Shante, North Shore looked into that as well, and they actually were starting to see that parents and students started to understand better why it was important for students not to be on their cell phones in the case of an emergency situation like a lockdown. UW researchers have found something maybe a little bit surprising. It's not that emergency situation that parents are concerned about you losing this connection between themselves and their student, their child that's in school. It's the constant communication, the constant connection. So being able to text your child and say, Grandma or Grandpa's coming to get you instead of me today. These are our dinner plans later. It's just that constant way of being in touch. That's going to take some getting used to for parents and students.
Thanks, Farah. Well, earlier this year, we know that voters rejected a bond for a new high school in Issaquah, but the district is now moving forward using money from earlier bonds passed in 2016 and 2022. The result, a smaller scale upgrade to the school that leaders say is desperately needed. King 5 Savannah Welch shows us why.
This is our main road and entry into the site here on 228th.
Issaquah School District is moving ahead with plans for a new high school designed to relieve overcrowding.
We had voter-approved funds to support the expansion of our capacity at the high school level back in 2016 through a bond. This next high school campus is really about helping to ease the capacity that exists and previously had existed.
The district has $146 million available to fund the project, and construction is expected to begin next spring.
And this is the main administration area.
Senior project manager Kim Young says the design includes space to expand if enrollment grows.
Sustainability is really important not only to the community, but also to the students. And we're really trying to bring in a lot of those components into this project. We try to do really flexible spaces because we know these days that whatever you're teaching today isn't what you're going to be teaching 3 years from now, 5 years from now.
The campus will include learning commons and outdoor spaces, along with fields for baseball and softball.
So this next high school not only will serve 700 students, and help ease overcrowding and provide great experiences for our young people to thrive. It will also serve as a community space where people can use the fields, use the space to hold community events.
We drew this classroom. Is it the right size?
Students are also helping shape the school through a new career kickstart program that lets them see the design process up close.
It's very cool. It's really cool that they're letting students kind of be a part of it. Like, they really do care about what students have to say, because at the end of the day, students are going to be the ones there.
The district says community feedback will continue as plans develop. The goal is to welcome students to the new school by fall 2027. Savannah Welch, King 5 News.
On the first day of school in the Bethel district, students were welcomed into a newly renovated elementary school. Our photojournalist Jay Harvey followed the principal and a teacher as they prepared for the first day back at Evergreen Elementary in Spanaway.
Evergreen was actually established in 1979. It hasn't been updated since until now.
The renovations for Evergreen Elementary have been a long time coming.
The building, our old building, was as old as I am, and so it definitely needed a remodel.
Construction started in spring of last year. The students were moved to a temporary location, but today they will take their first steps into their new and improved classrooms.
Every inch of the school is brand new. The cabinets, the flooring, the windows, the doors, the playground.
Of course, the TV is going to make the learning come alive for my first graders.
It's been an emotional week as teachers begin to set up their new spaces.
2 teachers texted me and said they broke down into tears when they entered their classroom because they're so excited to be able to teach in this space with our students.
You found some money.
Everyone excited to start the new school year in a very special place.
We've been through a lot in the last, in the last years. It makes me a little emotional thinking about that, actually. This is such a special school, that is for sure. I think we have been needing this for a very long time.
Still ahead, State Superintendent Chris Rakedahl joining us here in Tacoma to talk about his priorities for the new school year.
Move.
cards in the hospital.
From vaping. Promise you won't vape, Emma.
Not cool.
Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
Hey, you got a minute?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.
I never got a college degree. Now I'm the CEO of my own company. People want to tell me I'm one in a million, when actually I'm one of millions.
Question. Can we talk about education? We need more thinkers and doers to raise a hand and shake things up, to believe in the future. The one that's barely 4 feet tall and loves to dream big, to learn and be inspired. So who better to help make a difference than, I don't know, people who actually can. Maybe you never thought about being a teacher. Maybe you should. Well, I gotta go. I'll see you in class.
I've run this place for 20 years, but I still need to prove that I'm more than what you see on paper.
As part of its public health mission, the scientists and staff at FDA work to protect the American public by getting the accurate, science-based information they need to use medications wisely.
We're with Liam after his 4th military move. When being new is starting to get old. We're with Tara during the holidays when she misses home the most. We're with all service members and their families who need connection, comfort, and a home away from home. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today.
Welcome back. I'm Shante Sumpter in Tacoma at Jefferson Elementary, where students are inside for their first day of school. We have with us this morning State Superintendent Chris Rakedahl to talk about the new school year and everything that's happening here in Washington State. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Well, when we think about the new school year, of course, there's a lot of things on the minds of Washington parents. But first, I want to talk about what are your priorities for the year?
Well, one, welcoming kids back successfully, and I'm excited about parents, right? They love this first day of school and it means so much to them, so I'm excited that parents are ready to lean into their kids' learning for sure.
And when we think about the budget and the deficits that the state is facing as far as like shortages, district cuts, what are the plans to just make sure that that doesn't impact the learning and what the students are receiving at school?
Well, we lean into that. The priorities in the classroom, and our districts have done a great job focusing on that, on those supports. And so we're always going to deal with budget challenges, whether it's the state or the federal government, but our job is to just focus on students and families in the classroom. So this year, it's about getting those cell phones out of there, getting kids focused, right? 3/4 of our districts have prioritized that. And then math, right? We're like a leader in the world in literacy, but we've got work to do in mathematics, and that's a big priority for us this year and beyond.
So speaking of the cell phones, we know in Oregon there is a mandated ban on the cell phones in schools. I know a couple of schools have implemented changes. We know that you've put that as a priority for districts to start thinking about, but any chance that you might do something similar here?
Yeah, Oregon also gave people flexibility, and that's what we've done. So our legislature may step in with something more aggressive, but what we did a year ago is say to districts, you all need a policy. And 3/4 of our districts either adopted or updated it. Most of them are getting rid of the phone completely in the classroom, and some for the entire day. So they're doing this because it's the right thing to do, and maybe the legislature will step in and pass a law. They can or can't, that's up to them, but we're leaning into that work no matter what.
Right. We've also been hearing from teachers. I know you talked about literacy and math being a priority, but for teachers, they've talked about like the classroom sizes and how some are just over the limit. Any plans to try and change that in these districts?
Yeah, it's becoming an issue when you have budget challenges. That's part of the risk to the classroom, is that you end up with too many students, right? Because you still want to give them great options. And so what